You can't change reality without changing yourself. So much stuff out there about breaking habits makes it seem that you change as a person after your new habits are formed. But in my experience, you need to work on yourself before you can break the habits which are holding you back. There's a biological reason for this too. As a doctor, I should know. Repetitive actions lead your brain to develop neural pathways to make performing these actions unconscious. This is the scientific definition of a habit. This means that breaking or forming a habit isn't solely down to willpower. It's a biological phenomenon. Treat it like going to the gym, where your new habit is a muscle that needs consistent work to strengthen. Self-consciousness is vital. I used to be that type of person who would reach for their phone first thing in the morning and put it down last thing at night. But once I started seeing my own behavior through my mind's eye, I was able to start identifying and addressing the negative habits impacting on my life. I knew that if I was going to reach my dream of becoming a DJ, I needed to get hold of my unconscious behaviors before their consequences held me back. So, before you start making changes, start noticing the changes you want to stop. Shaping your image of yourself is vital for becoming the new you. If you see yourself as, say, a smoker, you'll never break the habit of smoking because that repetitive action is part of your identity. Now, I'm not saying you need to lie about your place in life or become delusional, but what I am saying is there's a difference between being a non-smoker with a smoking habit and a quitting smoker who is monitoring how often they smoke. Reframing is all about baby steps. When I was trying to get my music career off the ground, my view of myself as an amateur was holding me back because I wasn't pursuing bigger gigs and challenges. Of course, I didn't start thinking of myself as the best DJ in the history of the world. Instead, I took stock of my skills, experience, and goals and shifted my personal opinion of myself to something like a semi-pro or a beginner looking for the next step up. I hope you're finding this video helpful so far. If you are, make sure you hit the subscribe button below to stay up to date with my content and events. Let's continue. Becoming more introspective can make you better at forming the physical habits too. There's this famous study where they took two groups of pianists. One group played on the keys 2 hours a day, and the other group spent the same time visualizing their hands playing the chords. Then, brain scans at the end of the experiment revealed that both groups had basically made the same development in their neural pathways. This means that the mind interprets thinking of an action as the same as, or very similar as performing the action. Using this mental practice today will make it easier for you not to reach for your phone tomorrow morning or other bad habits you're trying to break. There's actually a few other tricks you can do to fool your brain into altering your unconscious behaviors. The book Atomic Habits goes into detail about how your brain is triggered into different modes of action. If you read a book in the same chair, then your brain will enter reading mode when you sit in that chair. If you're someone who works on their laptop in bed, but finds themselves unable to sleep easily, then chances are your brain is conflicted over whether bedtime means work or rest. Compartmentalizing physical space by tying it to habits makes it easier to break or form those habits. If you smoke every time you have a cup of coffee in the morning while standing on your balcony, lock that balcony door or drink a tea instead. Or visualize yourself putting on your running shoes instead of the kettle. When I was coming home after a busy day on the ward, it was hard to snap into the right mood to want to go out and DJ in a club. But by visualizing myself doing the actions of changing clothes, picking up my bag, packing away my headphones, I was able to get into the right mind frame unconsciously. Look, changing your trajectory by just 1 degree is all it takes to end up in a different place. So start by doing the heavy lifting of tiny actions to develop your dream habits. If you made it this far, I know you're taking your life seriously. Thank you so much for joining this journey with me. Recently, I sat down and reflected deeply on the mindsets and behaviors that have got me to this point. So I made this video for you here. These mindsets completely changed my life, and I think they could change yours too. I'll see you there.